20th Century Fox, would you please, please settle the rights issues, whatever they may be, and make the original Star Wars trilogy available, DeSpecialized, without the special edition versions, of which is all that we really have. 2 of them. So, why am I bringing this up? Well, now that Star Wars is pretty much property of Disney, and we no longer have the distributor, 20th Century Fox, involved with Star Wars. Distributor, and also pretty much the company that gave money to Lucas to make the movies that he made, the first 6 of them. Maybe it is time now to go back to the original negative and make it the way, restore it to the originals that people want. Because the thing is that Star Wars, at this point, all we really have of the original trilogy on DVD are the limited edition versions that were available in 2004. And those versions are really not up to par with what was restored for a special edition version. So, please, 20th Century Fox, make this happen. I mean, it looks like Marvel and Sony settled their differences, I guess, with Spider-Man, since Spider-Man appears in Captain America Civil War. Why can't we do the same thing with Star Wars? Ever since, George Lucas just wouldn't do it for the fans. And, he knows that the fans are there for this franchise. I mean, we are with him. Through thick and thin, through Phantom Menace or not, we were still with him. But the thing is that I, for example, looked at a snippet, and I've talked about these before, of the Blu-ray version of Return of the Jedi. The scene where Darth Vader decides to save Luke, his son, from the Emperor, and who's ready to fry him to a crisp, and Darth Vader throws the Emperor down the shaft, and that's the end of the Emperor. In the Blu-ray version, and I'm sure many of you know, it's a little cringe-worthy that he says, "No," before he throws him down the shaft. This is what Vader says. And it takes so much away from what was there. In addition to Hayden Christensen appearing at the end of Return of the Jedi, I mean, there are just so many things that we have seen revisions made to movies in the past, director's cuts. Many of them were necessary, some of them were not, but some were because the director probably was not able to really finalize their vision the way they chose. In other words, the powers that be, they didn't give the director a final cut. Well, George Lucas, pretty much oversaw these movies. He did the financing. 20th Century Fox did the distribution, might have put in, obviously, some money for advertising and all that stuff. But it was his vision. And if he felt that those things that he included in the special edition versions, of which there were, I guess now there are 3, I don't even know for sure. I think 3. So in 1997 we had the special edition versions. I think 2004 were the same ones, but then he restored and changed some of the things. And then now for the Blu-ray, I mean, I don't even know how many revisions there have been. I can't even keep up. Just make these available. Please. Restore the original negatives. There are a couple of guys online who have made available the DeSpecialized editions. They put in a lot of hard work, but they're going over materials that are already out there. So whether it's a Blu-ray, VHS, whatever, fine. They don't have the original negative. So please, make this happen. Bring back the versions that we know, that we love. Because The Force Awakens proved that even with some CGI, they still were able to, as J.J. Abrams has proven to do with his other movies, rely on practical effects. I mean, I don't object to CGI, but, come on. I mean, they were used not as an instrument to enhance what was already there in the Star Wars trilogy. Lucas pretty much just put in things that didn't need to be there. Luke and his, land speeder with Obi-Wan Kenobi as they arrive at Mos Eisley Spaceport. For one, the spaceport is made to seem much more of a busy type of town than what was originally seen in the original. In other words, it looked a little too ornate, a little too busy. So when we see a Jawa with this gargantuan animal in front of all this business that we have known and loved from before, it just looks like it's somebody playing a game with us. So please, George Lucas is no longer involved. Get the original negative. Maybe they're trying to already. I don't know. Settle your differences with 20th Century Fox. Do something, please. Disney, make these available. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, this is Jerry Saravia at the Movies, signing off.